Hey everyone, welcome to the first workshop in Community Art Link's Making Comics to Spooky Halloween Edition. I'm Colin.
And I'm not Colin.
I'm not Podge, but that is Colin. So now that we've got that straight, our first workshop is going to be all about coming up with an idea for our comic. This is really exciting. The way myself and Podge decided to do this workshop is to actually go through the process of making a comic ourselves from scratch. So right now we actually have no idea what our one-page comic is going to be about. So live we're going to just do some brainstorming and come up with an idea. This is exactly how I would always start my writing. Sometimes it's easy maybe to think that writers just sort of take out their pen and paper or the laptop, start typing, and immediately come up with the next Harry Potter or something amazing. That's not how it works.
What? You mean that's not how it works?
No, the mysteries of writing will be revealed, but you're going to have to sign some. You're an artist, so you're not usually allowed to see the mysteries of writing. So we're going to have to get you to sign a non-disclosure agreement.
A DNA or DNA, DSA?
DNA, DSA, sing the song. So just get a pen, blank sheet of paper, pencil, and you can follow along with us and see how you can come up with your own idea. Okay, so usually I do this just using pencil and a blank piece of paper, but it's easier to show you guys when we're doing the workshops by using kind of a computer program to do it. This, in fact, if you just Google SpiderGraph online, you'll find this free program, and it's just going to allow me to link my ideas together. So, center of the screen, you see spooky story ideas. So, Podge, what are some ideas for our spooky story?
Vampire carrots.
Sure, it's a start for sure. So to begin,
not the best idea, but you put me on the spot.
So we got vampire carrots. I'm going to stick in goblins for no other reason than I just love goblins. You know, I think every story could use more goblins. Even stories with goblins in it, more goblins.
You can make them any size you want as well, too. Like
big goblins.
Goblins can range from like trolls under the bridge to the tiny little gremlins in that wonderful little 80s movie.
Yeah, okay, so that's an idea. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to link this, and from goblins, I'm going to put giant goblins. Because why not? So one thing actually that myself and Podge were talking about earlier is it'd be fun to kind of link this to Halloween, to the Community Art Link, and to the Dragon of Shandon Parade. So you might know Community Art Link from the people that they make the Dragon of Shandon Parade. So we're just going to, as one idea, we're just going to throw in the dragon here, because that'd be kind of fun, and obviously dragons are cool.
So and it's the most iconic image you'll see at the parade is the giant dragon, for anybody that's ever been at the parade.
I'm going to throw in the Dragon of Shandon there. I'll zoom out a little bit here to allow us a bit more room to come up with some more nonsense ideas. So what else have we got here? Actually, while we're at it, while we're talking about Community Art Link, they also have their own building, the Lido building, where they host all their workshops and stuff when we're allowed to go out in public in the before times.
Yeah. That will help having a location to work from.
Exactly. A location is always super useful. So if this would just work for me, please. Cool. Okay. So it's called the Lido is where the building is. So that'll give us a location to work from.
And did you know the Lido used to be an old cinema back in the day?
That's really interesting. I'm just going to stick that in there as well. Cinema. You know, it might. So again, the idea here is not to come up with a story idea straight away. The idea is just kind of throw lots of ideas out there and see what you have. So what else have we got?
You could so from what we have here, we could have giant goblins watching movies in the old Lido.
Exactly. That's actually one thing I forgot. So I suppose down here on the bottom end is kind of turning into our sort of setting area. So I'm going to throw another idea into the setting, which is Halloween, which might seem obvious, but no harm in writing that down. It's a spooky story, so we might as well have it happen at Halloween.
Samhain.
Exactly, from Samhain. And goblins, I'm just going to put in little goblins as well, because we could have giant goblins, but little goblins are kind of funny as well. So, you know.
If I may interject here, if we use little goblins, you could do a whole drawing of a whole series of them on top of each other, and maybe even, I mean, if we're talking about it as a cinema, you could have one goblin on top of the other goblin's shoulders with a coat over him to try and get into, you know.
That's a really fun idea. I like that a lot. So yeah, so this is kind of this is how we come up with ideas. So what I think would be a good idea actually is right now, if we link goblins to cinema, because I like that kind of trench coat idea kind of a thing. So we'll just put a line there. Again, we don't know if that's going to be our story, but it's a nice idea for our story. So what else can we have going on? Goblins, Halloween, vampire carrots, spooky story ideas, Dragon of Shandon.
The Dragon of Shandon is a big skeleton. So are we going to have him as would we use him as a skeleton or as an actual dragon?
It'd be more fun to have him as an actual dragon, wouldn't it? Do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then he could eat the goblins, in case, you know. So actual dragon, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
So if we were to go with the cinema, what else would we have going on there? So goblins coming into a cinema, trench coat, lots of goblins. What would happen there? Or maybe the goblins.
What would they be watching?
That's true. Yeah. A spooky film, or would it be funnier if the goblins were watching a silly film? Something.
Well, what would goblins consider to be a spooky film?
That's a good question. Bambi?
Lion King 2, Mustafa's Revenge.
Sure, we'll put that in there. We say the goblins are watching Lion King 2, The Lion King 2, Mustafa's Revenge?
Yeah.
Sure, Lion King 2, right. So
that can obviously change as we're
messing
about with ideas here.
Exactly, Lion King 2, the King of Ning. That's a word. That's definitely a word. So, okay. So, are we going to set? So, if we're going to set it in the cinema, so the goblins are trying to sneak into the cinema. Is the dragon going to come into it, or are they just going to get caught and kicked out of the cinema? What's going to be like the fun, the conflict, or the drama that's driving the story? I suppose.
Just throwing an idea out there. What if the dragon changes the film on them? Okay. And scares them all out of the building.
That's a good idea. Yeah, the dragon. So what if they go to watch a spooky film, but they get scared out because it's a cutesy film?
Yeah. Oh, they could be going to see Gremlins, but he changes it out to The Lion King 2, or something like that.
Yeah, something ridiculously, awfully, disgustingly cute that goblins would obviously hate. So. In the cinema.
Goblins are going to see the movie Critters.
Changes the film.
That's too much of a niche.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So goblins are going to watch something spooky. The dragon changes the film to something cute and Bambi-like, and just bunny rabbits on the screen, and the goblins run out screaming.
Yeah.
I quite like that actually. So we'll just zoom out so you can see it. So sometimes this brainstorming process can take 10, 15, 20 minutes, half an hour. Sometimes it can go on a long time. Sometimes you get an idea that kind of clicks straight away. But the important thing is just throw everything down on the piece of paper and you'll find something. So honestly, I think that's the first step done. I think we have enough to get going. So we have little goblins in the cinema and the dragon wants to get rid of them. So the dragon switches the film that's showing in the cinema and terrifies the goblins.
And they all go tearing outside the doors, flip open, and they're just running out into the street screaming.
Yeah, that'll make a really good, fun final panel. Just dozens of goblins screaming out into the street. Okay, that was the process of coming up with an idea. So as you can see, we just have sort of the bare bones of an idea. We don't yet have it fully shaped into a story. We'll be doing that in the next workshop. So yeah, thanks a million for watching, and we'll see everyone at the next workshop.
Okay, see you next time.